There you are. Project 1, to-do list. Hello, everyone. I want to create a new project in this video. We're going to create it together. So this project we're going to call a to-do list. You can add something that you want to remember on this list, right? One of the most important things in this project, you will learn how to save data into the device memory and how to read this data back. Also, after finishing this project, we will learn how to create an APK file and how to publish this project on Google Play. So our project will basically look like this. Let's go to Android Studio without losing any more time, right? Get to the marketplace. So before we start, I do want to show you how our project will look when it finishes. So here's our application, and if you want to add a new item to the list, you can just write it here and click the Add button. And after you click the button, it will be added to the list. For example, let me write here, go to the office. So I will click the Add button. And so you see the new item is added to the list. Also, after adding the item, edit text is cleared. So the important thing here is when I close this application, the list will not be deleted. So all of the list will be saved to the device memory. So let's try it. I'm going to close the application and open it up again. And let me just mention one more thing. You know, all of the applications that we've created were looking into the device with the Android robot icon. But this time, our application will have a new logo. So when I open the application again, the list is the same and everything came back. Didn't lose any data. Yes, that's the point. Also, there's another feature inside of this application. So when you click on an item in the list, it will ask you to delete this item. So if you click yes, it will delete the item from the list. If you click no, it will not delete the item from the list. So also, let's know this, the application is working pretty slow. Why? Because it's working on the virtual device. If you run this application on a real device, it won't be this slow. So let's start up the project. First, I will create a new project. And this project will be for phones and tablets. So I selected empty activity and I'll click next. I'll give a name to this project. The name, let's call it to-do list project. And Android Studio gave a package name automatically. And I can select where to save this project from here. That's okay. And programming language is Java. Minimum API level is 15. My application will work on all of the devices in the marketplace. You remember that from before. So I'll click Finish. Android Studio will create a new project for me. So now the new project is ready. It's, of course, an empty project. Now there's an icon here. Looks like an eye. You can see how the layout design will look on the device. So I'm going to close my old project, and also I'm going to delete this text view. First, we can start to design our application. So if you look at this application, there is an edit text to edit items, and there's a button next to the text view. And there's also a list view to show the list. And when we click on the Add button, the item is added to the list view. I'm going to delete this constraint layout and write it as a linear layout. Also, I'll define vertical orientation of this linear layout. I will add linear layout in this linear layout, and this time will be horizontal. So I'm going to add one edit text and one button in this horizontal linear layout. I'll change the layout height of this horizontal layout to wrap content. And I'll change the weight of this edit text. So I'll write 4, and weight will be 1 for the button. So that means that I divided this layout into 5 pieces and gave 4 pieces to the edit text, and then that leaves 1 piece for the button. And I'll also add some space to this layout. So I'm going to go to layout margin and write 5 dp. That means that I left 5 dp of a space from 4 sides of the layout. Okay, so that's okay for now. I will add a list view, and list view will be under the vertical layout. So let's check the IDs of these components. ID of edit text is edit text. ID of button is button. ID of list view can be list. Also, I will change the background color of this layout. I will click background, select color, and select a color. Now I selected this color, but you can use any other color. What's your favorite color? We'll all know now. Okay, so the design's ready. So that means we can go over to the code side. And I'll define these 3 components. I will write edit text item, button add, and list view, list view. Now before I continue, I will delete this text of the edit text, and I'll add a hint to this edit text. Hint will be add new item. Also, I will change the text of this button and write add. Okay, now I can continue. So inside the onCreate method, item equals find view by ID, r.id.editText. Add equals find view by ID, r.id.button. And list view equals find view by ID, r.id.list. Now, after that, I need an array list. So this array list will hold my items. Array list string, item list equals new array list. I will add my items to the list view from this array list. Also, I need an adapter to connect the array list and list view. I'm going to write array adapter string array adapter. Okay, you with me so far? So good. So now if I add items from array list to list view using the adapter directly, a problem is going to occur. When I close the application, the list will delete. So I need to save this list, and I'm going to save this list to a file. I will save this file in the device memory. So that means that when I need this list again, I'll just read the file from the device's memory, yeah? So I will create a new class to save the file in the device memory. Let me just right-click the main activity.java file and select New Java Class. And we can give a name to this class. Let's call it File Helper. I will write saving codes in this class. Now first, I will create a constant for the file name. I will write public static file string file name equals list info point dat. So this is the file name that I want to save onto the device's memory. So I defined it at the beginning of the class because I will use this name in the code more than once, okay, and more than in one place. So if I write this name wrong, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so after that's complete, I will create a method to write the data to this file. And I will write public static void write data. And this method will take two arguments. The first one is ArrayList. Type of ArrayList will be string. Name of argument of this ArrayList can be item. Second one is context. So I will write context. I will write codes to save the list in this method. And I'll use file output stream class. So this class is used to write data into a file. I will create an object from this class. I'll write file output stream, FOS. FOS is the name of the object. It is an abbreviation of the file output stream. So the file output stream, or FOS, equals context.openFileOutput. And then this method will create a file in the device's memory and open it. So this method, of course, takes two parameters. First one is file name. Second one is mode. File name is file name. Mode will be context.modePrivate. Now, if I select mode private, I can reach this file from everywhere else inside of the application, but other applications will not be able to reach this file. Now, if you do save data to the device's memory, you should lock your file. Otherwise, other applications can read your file. Okay, so do you see this? Underlined in red. So, Android Studio underlined in red this code. Why? Because we need this code to be try-catch block. So I will select surround with try-catch. So now I can continue. And after that, I need to use another class. So the name of this class is Object Output Stream. All right, Object Output Stream, OAS, equals new object output stream, and inside the parenthesis, FOS. Now these two classes are used together to write data into a file. So now I need to add a catch method for this as well. So after this, I will write OAS.writeObject item. And with this line, the item will be written into the file. Okay, so now that's done. I need to close this file. So I'm going to write oas.close. Now, this is important as well. Because I created a file in the device's memory, after that, I can open this file and write data to this file. After that, I need to close this file because if it stays open, some problems can occur. Don't even want to go there. So we need to close the file. So now that the data writing method is ready, now I need a method to read this file. So I will write public static ArrayList string. Name of this method can be read data. And this method will take one argument. It is context. So how will this method read data from the file? So first I will create an array list. I will put data in this array list. I will write array list string item list equals null. And this list will be null at the beginning. After that, I will call file input stream class, and I will create an object from this class, and its name will be FIS. So file input stream, FIS equals context dot open file input. And inside the parenthesis, I will write file name. And I need to take this inside the try catch block as well. And then after that, I will call the object input stream class. Object input stream OIS equals new object input stream FIS. I'll need to add a catch block for this as well. Alrighty then, so now I need to write this read data to the array list. So I will write item list equals OIS dot read object. And I will need to add a catch block for this as well. So now this code will add data to the array list. But my type of array list is string. This method will read data as an object, so I need to convert it to string. So if I select this, Android Studio will do the typecasting automatically. So this method should return item list. So now I can read and write items from the file using these methods. Now I can use these methods in the main activity. First, I'll need to specify something. When the application is first opened, I need to check if there's a file previously saved or not, right? So if there's a saved data in this file, I'll need to take this data and then write it to the array list. After that, the list view can take this data from the array list. So I will write item list equals file helper dot read data. This. So this method will read data and then send it to the array list if there is any data. And then after that, I will send this data using the array adapter. Array adapter equals new array adapter. So the array adapter will take 4 parameters. First one is this. Second one is android.r.layout.simpleListItem1. So this is a default layout for the list view Android Studio uses. Third one is android.r.id.text1. This is also a default. You will need to write this exactly the same if you want a basic list view. And the last one is the name of the array list. It is item list. So now I need to assign this adapter to the list view. I will write list view dot set adapter array adapter. Okay, good. So now the list view is ready. And if there is any saved data from before, it will be written into the list view. Also, I want to add data to the list view when I write in the edit text and click the add button. So I need to add a click listener to the add button in order to accomplish this, right? So I will write add.set on click listener, new view on click listener. First, I'll need to take an item from the edit text and assign it to a string container. String item name equals item dot get text dot to string. Now, second, I need to add this item to the array list. Item list dot add item name. And then third, I want to clear text of the edit text. Item dot set text. Quotation marks. And this will clear the edit text. And fourth, I want to write a new item to the file. If the application is closed, data will be safe in the file. File helper dot write data, item list, and get application context. Okay, and so lastly, I will need to notify the adapter to get these changes. Array adapter dot notify data set changed. Now the application is almost ready. So why don't we just run the application to see how everything looks and runs so far? So the application doesn't work. Of course, there's a problem. Do you know what it is? Now, before you stop the video and go back and troubleshooting, I'm just going to show you the problem because you need to think this through. In the file helper class, we need to add something. So inside the file not found exception block, I will write item list equals new array list. So this is necessary for the very first opening of the application. Okay, get it? Yeah. So now I can run the application again. All right, so it looks like the application's working. So this is the first time and the list is empty. And I'm going to want to add some items to the list. So when I click the add button, the items are added to the list view. But the most important thing is if the data will be saved or not when I close the application. So I'll close the application and I'll open it again. So when I open the application again, the data came back. So now I just need to complete one more thing. So when I click an item on the list, I want to delete this item, and I will add item, click listener, to the list view. List view dot set on item click listener, new adapter view dot on item click listener. Inside the on item click method, I will create an alert dialog message. And hopefully you remember that, right? We explained the alert dialog in one of the previous videos. So alert dialog dot builder, alert equals new alert dialog dot builder main activity dot this. And after that, let's give a title to this alert dialog, alert dot set title delete. And then next, I will define the question. Alert dot set message. Message will be, do you want to delete this item from list? And then I will write alert dot set cancelable false. So that means if the user clicks somewhere on the screen, the alert dialog will not close. And then next, I'll define the negative button and add a click listener to this button. Alert.set negative button, no, new dialog interface dot on click listener. And then that way, if the user clicks no, I will write here what will happen. Dialog dot cancel. If the user clicks no, alert dialog will close. So now after that, I will define the positive button and add a click listener to this button as well. Alert dialog dot set positive button, yes. New dialog interface dot on click listener. If the user clicks yes, I will write here what will happen as well. So if the user clicks yes, first, the item that the user clicked on will delete from the array list. Item list dot remove position. And this will take the position user clicked and delete the item from the array list at that position. Second, list view need to renew. We can do this by notifying the adapter. Array adapter dot notify data set changed. Third, I need to write this new array list to the file. Because if the application is closed, we don't want to lose the data. File helper dot write data item list get application context. Lastly, we will need to finish the alert dialog, create code. Alert dialog equals alert dot create. Alert dialog dot show. Yes, now everything is ready and we can run the application. So look at that, the application's working, and when I click on an item in the list, it shows me an alert dialog. Do you want to delete this item from the list? If I click yes, it deletes the item. If I click no, alert dialog closes. So let's check to see if it will save the last version of the list or not. So I'm going to close the application, open it up again, and sure enough, it saved the list and it brought the list back. So it looks like our application's ready, but before we finish this video, I do want to show you how to change the logo of this particular application. So I'll need a picture for this. Now, I prepared a picture from before, so don't laugh. I just didn't want to do it in front of you to waste your time. I know that you've got plenty of things, but all I'm going to do is copy this picture and paste it in the drawable folder. And just like that, the pictures in the project. So after that, I will open the manifest file. And in the manifest file, there's a code line, Android icon. So I'll just delete this and write drawable picture. So now the logo is ready. And I will run the application again. And what do you know? The logo is added. Now, I know you can improve this project. I hope you do, with all sorts of creative, wonderful things. You can add some extra functions to the project as well if you want. You can change the design. You can support multiple languages. You can support multiple screen sizes. All of that is up to you, and it's your responsibility because you know how to do it right. So we finish our first project in this video. Next video, we will learn how to create an APK file from this project and then publish this APK file to Google Play. That's coming up in the next videos. So I will see you in the next one.